Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of Brad Cook Stuff. So, this week I decided I've been eating way too much meat lately, so it was time to make something a little healthy, and what's healthier than a nice soup? I do love soup, and I have so many seasonings that I can always make a pretty decent and flavorful soup. But soup alone is not enough, so I figured I'd also throw in a salad, and can't just have a salad with your soup, so I'm going to have one thing that has a little bit more calories, and that's going to be some toast. So, this week, we're making soup, salad, and toast. Anyway, let's take a look at the ingredients and see what we're working with. Here are the ingredients for tonight's dish. Now, I have so many ingredients here that it's just going to take too long to individually name them, so I'll just tell you what I'm using as I use them. But first, we're going to go ahead and chop up these vegetables. First, I am going to chop up these scallions. Man, I'm so happy I can get these in Japan. All right. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. And throw these into a bowl. Next, we have this stalk of celery. I'm going to chop everything off of this. That's my celery done. Let's put it in the bowl with the onions. Next, we'll go ahead and put this soup together. All right, first, put in some of this powdered onion soup from Hokkaido. Next, we'll put in some of this chicken consomme bouillon. Next, we'll put some of this savory, spicy pepperoncino flavored stuff in here. And we'll round it out with a little bit of celery salts. All right, that should be enough seasoning. Let's put some water in there. All right, that's 5 cups of water, and we will finish it off with a couple bay leaves. There we go. I went ahead and moved everything into a larger pot, but that's 6 cups of water, all the seasonings, and a couple of bay leaves. Now, let's go ahead and get this boiling. Well, this is really boiling. Let's go ahead and turn this way down. Right. Man, it smells good, though. All right, let's go ahead and get some vegetables in here. Let's get the celery. And we'll get about, say, half of the onion here. You know what? Let's put it all in. And put this handful of celery leaves in there. All right, let's go ahead and let this heat back up and cook for a while longer. While we're letting that soup go, I'm going to go ahead and spread some butter on both sides of a piece of bread here. All right, let's go ahead and check in on our soup. You know, I think this might actually be done. All right, so let's go ahead and leave the heat on low. All right, and we're going to transfer the soup into a container and put it into some bowls. Next, we put on our buttered toast. All right, I think it's time to flip this over. And while we've got it flipped over, we'll add a little bit of cheese. I think that's about as melty as it's going to get. Let's go ahead and put it on a plate. All right. And to finish this out, I'm going to have some salad. Got some powdered cheese. Some salty dressing that I like. And finally, some croutons. I think it might be time to eat. All right, moment of truth. I have here a bowl of savory scallion and celery soup, some cheese toast, and pretty simple salad. All right, so first, I think we're going to go with the cheese toast. All right, we'll try this out here. So, Okay. This is really good, man. I mean, butter and cheese on toast. Ah. Okay, that's excellent. Right? Next, let's try some of this salad. Man, this is a lot of salad. All right. Honestly, the cheese and croutons on that really make it taste very good. But our main dish here is this soup. So, let's give it a try. See how it tastes. That is excellent. Extremely flavorful. A little bit spicy from that umacata peperoncino stuff I put in there. But the vegetables give it a lot more flavor as well. Seriously, this is excellent. Yeah, I think I'm going to need a little bit more of everything before we finish up here. So first, the other half of this piece of cheese toast. That's excellent. All right. I think we're going to need a little bit more of this salad here. There we go. So that salad involves zero cooking. I just put it into a bowl and sprinkled some cheese and croutons over it. But man, it is really good. That dressing is really what makes it something special. A little bit more of that. And finally, some more of this very flavorful scallion and celery soup. I need more of this. All the seasonings I put in there have come together to make a very flavorful soup. And the scallions and celery are nice and soft. So, man, this is a really nice soup. I'm pretty pleased. So all this came about because recently I've been doing a lot of meat-based dishes and I've been eating a lot, and I would kind of like to make things a little healthier. So I figured a nice vegetable-based soup and a salad, but of course, gotta have a little bit of something here like this. So this is tonight's dinner. Anyway, I've got half of this piece of toast left and a fair amount of salad, plus a little bit of the soup. But I have a whole entire bowl of soup and about half of this salad bag left over in the fridge, which I can eat later. Plus, you know, this kind of thing, I can make this anytime. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all this up before I go to bed. But as always, appreciate you guys stopping in. I will see you in the next video.